guys, it's Starla with expressionsvinyl.com, and today I'm going to show you the new layout and the new look and feel of the Silhouette Studio version 4 or V4. So when you first open it up, it is going to have a little bit of a different layout. All of your basics, that would be your new page, save, all of this information up at the top here, this is all pretty much the same. The only thing that is slightly different is the icons may look a little bit different, and there is the new select by color feature when it goes to selecting your images that you can now have access to it up there. So, and then all of your features that used to be off to the left hand side, your select, edit points, your lines, they're all still there. They have just been compiled into separate groups. So before you had your select, you had your edit points, your line, box, circle, all of that stuff right there, your polygons, your arcs, your pens, they're all still here. They have just been compiled. So all of your arcs, your lines, your polygons right here, all of your shapes, draw your rectangle, draw a rounded rectangle, your pentagon, and your edit points. So for every one that you select, well, you have to have an image first. So let's go ahead and draw a square, just so we have an image. So your select will automatically show up, and then all of these items that you hear will be all of your editing. So if you want to adjust the size, you do it in here. This option right here is your fill. You can also access that over on this side as well. And here is your lines. So you can change your lines in here as well. Go and get rid of that so you can see the lines a little better. So this is your line color. This icon doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of standard that your color options are going to be there once you select an item. So let me go back to that. This right here, this is your line thickness. And all of this stuff used to be over here. It is still here. It's just that when you are working on an image now, you can access it all right here. You don't have to worry about flipping back and forth now. You can access and edit any of your stuff there. Here is your movement window where you can move your items back and forth. And once you select items up at the top here, it will open your side panels. So it's just a little bit easier access. And then there's your alignment stuff. Okay. So all of that has just been compiled. Now your other features before all of these that will now show up here on top when you're messing with an image, they used to be up here. And they still technically are. But going into your page, your color fills, they're all on the side now. So you've got your page set up. This is where you'll go in and adjust your physical page. So if you're working with a 12x6 sheet, you will go in there, enter that in. If you need a mat, everything is still kind of the same layout. It's just in different locations. So that's where that one is. Your pick scan mat now has its own icon. And you can select that, and that's where you'll import them. If you need your pick scan set up, you will still have to go into your page setup and turn that on. So your line thickness also was over here. This is where you can adjust your thickness, your style, and your color. Now the only option that you do not have access to when using this feature is your color changing. So if I have, edit that out. Okay, if I have my lines set to, well, let's just do the fill. The fill is easier, and it's the same concept, which would be right here. So you have your fill, your gradient, and your patterns. So I can change this to any color off of here, but I don't have any advanced options I could do with this tool over here. So I can make it transparent, or in your advanced options, you can mess with the gradients. And when you've got patterns, you can mess with how the scale is and how they're angled. So any advanced options, you will have to use this tool on this side. Same thing with your lines. and your colors are right there, same advanced options. Your thickness is to if you want it scored for cards or any just polka dot looks on any prints, and then how your lines will print out is all right here. So that's all the same for that. Your trace feature looks a little bit different. It's still the same concept. You will still have this box that you trace over your image to highlight. So if we're tracing this box, you will still select that. The only thing that is gone now is your scale. You don't have access to the scale anymore, so you just have to adjust your threshold. The speckled threshold is a new feature. It kind of messes with any of the smaller locations. And then you can kind of get rid of them there. And your high pass and low pass are still in there, and then you still have your trace, trace outer edge, trace and detach features. Those are all the same. Now close out of that. Your image effects, which before would have been on the top part of the screen with a little pentagon and a little stylus in the middle of it, this is where you can go in and adjust your brightness and your coloring, anything like that. It used to be up here, now it's over here, and now it's this circle, and that's how you change your effects. Your fonts are a little bit different. You now have the regular font style, and then you have some spell checking, and you can add certain words to the dictionary. So let's type a word. Oh, you have to select your font over there for your text, but on this side is where you will go in and select your font style. So, got our word here. If you go through and you've deselected that, you cannot use your down and up arrows to move back and forth. I think that's a flaw, and I think they will fix it. But for now, you can even use this one up here and go through and scroll down. So there's that option. But if you are used to using this one on the side, because that's how it was before, and you're just used to that, just close it and open it back up and select the font, and then you can use your up and down arrows on your keyboard. So there's that. And then that's nice that they've added that up there so you can go through and see other locations for fonts, and you can adjust them up there. So, and our new location for our replicating and alignment tools, they are also now called transform and replicate. They are right here. So transforming is going to be more about your location, your center to the page, center your items together, and then how you just align everything up. Your scaling, your rotating, and this one just means you can move it up and down by various angles or X and Y coordinates. So that's all transform now. It used to be called align, and now it's transform. The only one that is called align now is these ones. Now you have your replicate tool. Your replicate tool, it's still pretty much the same layout. And before it was some little horizontal lines that looked like they were rotating, kind of like this. But now it's just the 5. So it's still kind of the same icon. It's just that now it's on the right-hand side of the screen. So, and this is where you can rotate one way, rotate the other way, up and down. You can rotate multiples. This is showing 2. Or you could fill the whole page if you needed to, just by selecting that, and it will fill everything. So let's back up. Now your Replicate Plus, this feature is where you will go in and select the amount. Before that was in the same location as your regular Replicate, it was just in the advanced options. They've just kind of compiled a little different. So before you could do 10 copies going this way and hit Replicate. Oh, and you have to hit enter when you do that. That cursor, you have to make sure that moves. So now if I hit replicate, it'll do 10 times. Or you can do certain angles. So if I need this to replicate 10 times, and I want to do it at 100 degrees, it's going to rotate that many times throughout that straight angle. It's going to go that way, 100 degrees every location. So there's that option. The new feature is the show grab handle, which is called object to path feature. And we're going to do a circle. And we are going to do another circle, just for convenience. Okay. So now in our replicate, we've got 2 circles. We're going to do the object to path, which gives the option to allow you to replicate images around the path of another object. So I want this circle to go around this to create like a doily type of effect. So you have to select your image, show the grab handle, and you just drop it on the other shape. And it will replicate. It'll kind of default to certain numbers depending upon the size of your circle. But you can go in and you can adjust the angle, which this won't matter because they're circles. But if you had stars or something, or hearts, it would rotate them. Rotating the increment angle will rotate the individual items. So that's what that does. Your start position will just turn this dial to wherever it needs to be, but really it doesn't matter on a symmetrical shape like this. And then your section length is just how far around it's going. So, and then you can go in here and adjust your replicates, how many times you want to do it, go up and down. And then this will change with that, so I don't really see a need to use the step length. But if there are certain projects that you think that might help, go ahead and use it. So that's how you use the replicate or the object path. And this you can also change. This is how it will also, whoops, take that off. Move it around and do maybe only part of the circle or whatever your shape is. And this will actually move it down in numbers. So you can keep going around and get tons of them, kind of like a spiral graph. So I will tell you though, in this feature, if that's how you want your image and you're ready to cut, it is not ready to cut. You will have to release the copies. So I'm going to make it just a little bit more dense. So you have to release the copies before you can do anything. Right now, it's going to cut every single line it sees. So I want to get rid of my original shape that I grafted onto. So now you could cut that, or you could weld it or modify it or do anything that you want with it to get a certain image. So that's kind of a fun new feature for anything that you want to replicate for like the wedding ring quilt design or just making flowers out of certain images. That's a fun new feature. So that's pretty much the new layout. Everything else is also follows down. You've got your modifying features here. They look the same. Your offset does look slightly different. Instead of it being just a pentagon, it is now a star, and it will default to 0.25 when you just hit offset. Sometimes when you open it up, it will do it as well. So if I have my image selected and I go to my offset, sometimes it'll default, sometimes it won't. So I just want to do offset. It's going to default to 0.125. And now they move down in increments of 50. But you can still adjust them. You just have to do it manually and then select whether you want it a cornered offset or a round offset. Once it's where you want it, just hit apply. And that's the new offset. It's the same features, it just has a different image. And then you've got your stipple and your embossing, which is more geared towards the curio. So overall, the new look, show over the new features. So it's a new look. The design, store, library, and send navigation is now located in the upper right-hand corner of the software. So all right here. And they do look a little bit different. So your design, your store looks the same. And then the library looks the same. The send looks a little bit different. So let's go ahead and talk about the send. When you go in, these are items that we have added in by doing the add new material. So this is not what will default with Silhouette's products. All you have to do is when you get a new material and you find that you need to practice test cuts, just add the material in, name it. If it's vinyl, you're usually going to be doing a cut. And this is where you can go in and adjust that and then hit save. And that's where all of these cut settings are from, or ones that we have saved in the program. So once you've got your item selected, you can do your action and which tool it needs to go to. So if I have this tool 2 and I want it to be on cardstock, so maybe I'll use the premium blade and it's in tool 2, I will need to switch it to tool 2. the blade. And then they will both change down here. So if you want to cut in one and cut in the other, you will have to go back and forth. Instead of before, it would just do one cut and then it will do another cut. Your advanced options are still up here. You can cut by your simple cut, by line, by fill. Those are all of your advanced options, as well as in here where you can set your settings. So once you're ready to cut that, you just hit send. This will give you a quick tutorial if you've never done this before and this is your first time on how to lay the mat down, how to move your rollers, and how to do it with a mat. When you use a mat, you want to use it to the 13-inch position. And so that's a little tutorial, and since I don't have mine connected, it's saying cannot connect, but you will also see your Bluetooth functions in there. So that's how you use the send feature. Another new feature of 4.0 is that now, instead of having to do multiple things and opening and clicking every icon that you want, you can actually have multiple floating panels. Now, in order to do that, because if I go, okay, I want to change my color, but then I don't want to mess with my font, it doesn't open multiple panels. You have to actually detach it from that toolbar and then open up your second one. And if this is something that you're going to go back and forth with a lot, you can actually attach them to each other and then you can kind of drop them in back and forth. So if this project just requires you to do text and line color, that's all you need right there, and they're floating for you. Now there is a new project startup options. So if you're going in, you say, I need to make a quick card, but I don't have time to design it, you can go up to File, New Project Wizard, or do Control-Shift-N. And now they have images or options for you to go in and select those. So it's under the File menu, which allows you to quickly start new projects, blank documents, cards, embossing, or stippling for your curio. And this will just depend on what you need to do. So if I want to make a card, all I have to do is select the card image and it's going to bring it in. And you can still adjust it depending upon your size. Just watch your settings up here as to what card size you need to be. And you can still manually do it, which in your feature is, instead of doing lock aspect ratio, if I need my card to be a 5x7, I would want maybe one side to be 7 and one side to be 10. And it's going to default to a card. So if I wanted it to be 4x6, it should default to out of 4x6. It's a little bit bigger, but that's how you can go in and change those around. So now you have a card ready to go and you can go through and create your card. The other option that is a new feature to the Studio, this is just the basic edition, I should say. The Designer Edition will have more features, but this is just the basic edition. Okay, so now if I want to modify two shapes, let's just grab some circles again. Change them just so we can tell which colors are what. I want to modify these two shapes, but I'm not 100% sure what's going to what, and this is kind of not making sense. You can actually go up to the Help button now and go to Tutorials. You can go in and select what you are working on. So I want to modify the shapes. Hit Start, and it's just going to have these little pop-ups. So the first option, it's telling me if you have your item selected and I hit Weld, it's going to weld them together and turn it one color. Now backing up, you can go to the next one, and this will just kind of go through every feature of that and what each option will do. This does look a little bit different than the icon one, but it's the same object. So this will help you if you go, I want this orange shape to be missing this section right here. You just have to go through and say, okay, I need to use a crop. Select both of them, or in the crop, sorry, they're different images. I'm going to need subtract all. So now that image is good to go. So if you get stuck on something, use these tutorials. They will help immensely on some of the basic stuff. So that's a little bit about the V4. If there's anything I missed, please let us know, or anything that you have found to be helpful. They've done a lot of new stuff to it, so don't get overwhelmed. Oh, one of the other new features is that you can change in your options over here. You can actually go in and change your colors on your display, because if you look at your computer for a long time like I do, the light kind of hurts your eyes after a while. So you can actually go in and change this, which I think this is awesome. You can go in and change everything to be dark if it's easier for you to see, and it's just a lot easier to see some of the colors you have to fill it in. So that's also another feature. So this is all very new. Let us know what you think. Give us a thumbs up, put a comment down if you have any questions below, and subscribe. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye!